Castelobruxo. Castelobruxo is the wizarding school that serves much of the South American magical population and is situated deep in the Amazon rainforest in northern Brazil. Though it is shrouded from Muggle eyes by powerful enchantments, the castle is described as a magnificent square-shaped edifice, golden in appearance, resembling a Mesoamerican temple, likely a tribute to the continent's indigenous magical history. The school is protected by small spirit guardians known as Caipora, mischievous yet powerful beings drawn from native Brazilian mythology. These guardians are particularly active at night and are responsible for deterring intruders and protecting the grounds from danger. According to Pottermore and supplementary lore released by J.K. Rowling, Castelbruxo predates colonization by several centuries. It may be as old as Hogwarts itself, or even older, with some accounts suggesting it was founded around 500 years before European settlers arrived in South America. This highlights the indigenous magical traditions of the continent and counters any Eurocentric assumptions that wizarding education must follow British standards or timelines. The curriculum at Castelbruxo places a strong emphasis on magizoology, herbology, and potion making, all naturally connected to the school's setting in the Amazon, one of the most biodiverse regions in the world. The rainforest provides access to magical plants and creatures unknown to most of the world, making Castelbruxo a leader in magical botanical studies. Exchange programs are reportedly offered to European students who wish to study magical flora and fauna in an immersive environment, indicating Castelbruxo's collaborative status in the global magical academic scene. Students at Castelbruxo wear bright green robes, said to symbolize their strong connection to nature. While the exact language of instruction isn't specified, it is presumed that Portuguese is the primary language, considering the school's Brazilian location. However, given its service to all of South America, additional languages like Spanish may also be used depending on the student body's composition. The school is notable for its cultural independence. Unlike Hogwarts or Durmstrang, it does not emphasize house divisions or blood purity traditions. This lack of hierarchical structure seems consistent with the more egalitarian values attributed to many indigenous societies prior to colonization. Castelbruxo's embrace of native South American magical traditions is a contrast to the European wizarding world, which often centers magical education around formalized, westernized institutions. One particularly fascinating feature of Castelbruxo is the role of Caipora. These beings are not merely mascots or protectors, they represent a living connection to the spiritual world of the rainforest. Described as small, furry, and fiercely protective, the Caipora are rarely seen directly, but are deeply respected by students and faculty. Their constant presence reinforces the theme of magic as something not only studied, but experienced and respected in daily life. There is no mention in the core Harry Potter novels of Castelbruxo directly, but it was confirmed in post-series lore shared by J.K. Rowling. It remains one of the lesser-known but most intriguing magical institutions, particularly due to its emphasis on magical sustainability, defense against wild magic, and preservation of native knowledge. The school likely does not operate with the same boarding format as Hogwarts due to the vast distances of South America and differing cultural traditions. However, this is speculative, as detailed information about daily life at Castelbruxo is limited. The possibility of students learning through more nature-based or ritualistic methods is plausible, though not officially confirmed. Unlike Durmstrang or Beauxbatons, Castelbruxo did not participate in the Triwizard Tournament, likely due to logistical or political reasons, or perhaps because its students were not part of the traditional European magical hierarchy. This absence should not be mistaken for inferiority. On the contrary, Castelbruxo is recognized by the International Confederation of Wizards as one of the 11 prestigious, officially sanctioned magical schools in the world, standing as South America's leading center of magical education. Despite its ancient origins and robust academic offerings, Castelbruxo remains elusive to most fans due to its lack of direct representation in the books or films. Yet for those who explore beyond the core series, it is one of the most enchanting examples of non-Western magical education and a potential location for future stories in the wizarding world. Mahoutokoro. Mahoutokoro is the premier school of magic in Japan and one of the 11 officially recognized wizarding schools in the world. Located atop the uninhabited volcanic island of Minami Iwo-jima, part of the remote and protected Ogasawara Islands in the Pacific Ocean, it is arguably the most geographically isolated of the known magical schools. Despite its seclusion, Mahoutokoro has earned a reputation for producing some of the most academically gifted and disciplined wizards in the magical world. The castle itself is unique. It is carved out of the pink-white volcanic rock of the island's peak and is said to gleam with a pearly sheen when seen from a distance. Though Muggles never glimpse the school due to powerful concealment charms, its visibility to magical creatures and enchanted objects is believed to be significant, indicating strong natural energy sources, something consistent with Shinto beliefs in sacred spaces. Mahoutokoro is reportedly smaller in size than Hogwarts, but no less formidable in reputation or magical output. One of the most distinctive features of Mahoutokoro is its robe-based tracking system. Students are given enchanted robes when they begin their studies, which change color based on their academic progress and magical skill. The progression begins with pale pink and transitions through various shades until it becomes gold, signifying top marks in all subjects. However, the robe also serves as a warning system. If a student is caught breaking magical law, particularly if they associate with dark magic, the robes turn white. This acts as both a stigma and a potential expulsion notice. White-robed students are often subject to disciplinary action and may be disowned by the school, or worse, reported to the Japanese Ministry of Magic. This symbolic and functional use of robes reflects Japan's broader cultural emphasis on discipline, shame, and honor. It also makes Mahoutokoro one of the few magical schools where a student's reputation is publicly visible through their uniform. In contrast to the relative privacy afforded by house systems at Hogwarts, Mahoutokoro operates more like a meritocratic monolith. Status is earned through visible excellence and diligence. Students at Mahoutokoro begin their education at a younger age than many other wizarding schools, starting as young as 7. Initially, they commute via enchanted storm petrels, large magical seabirds, returning home each night. Around age 11, students begin boarding full-time at the school. This phase structure allows children to integrate magical education gradually into their lives and remain close to their families in early years, aligning with traditional Japanese values around community and familial responsibility. Academically, Mahoutokoro is known for its rigorous standards. It produces some of the most highly skilled Quidditch players in the world, many of whom go on to play for Japan's national team. Their training is so intense that even professional players from other countries often seek to train at the island under invitation. In addition to Quidditch, students are well versed in wandless magic, weather manipulation, and astronomical magic, the last of which is linked to ancient Japanese celestial lore and plays a key role in their curriculum. The school also has strong connections to ancient Eastern magical traditions. While wands are commonly used, students are also taught to use talismans, spell scrolls, and gesture-based incantations rooted in Japanese mysticism and folklore. There is even speculation that Mahoutokoro has retained spellcraft passed down from Onmyoji, historical practitioners of esoteric cosmology, integrating old magic into a modern framework. This makes Mahoutokoro a hybrid institution, blending cutting-edge magical science with ancient wisdom. Despite its prestige, Mahoutokoro is not as widely featured in mainstream wizarding narratives, especially in the core Harry Potter books. It is not mentioned in the main series and only appeared in expanded lore released by J.K. Rowling through Pottermore. As such, it remains a mystery to many fans of the franchise, yet its potential as a setting for future magical stories, especially those involving Eastern wizarding politics, philosophy, or martial magic, is immense. One final point of interest is Mahoutokoro's stance on dark magic. The school is known for having zero tolerance, and there are rumors of historical purges of students and staff found practicing it. These accounts are unconfirmed, but they further suggest a culture of high accountability and national pride in producing morally upright and magically skilled individuals. Mahoutokoro remains a hidden giant in the wizarding world, remote, selective, and fiercely respected. Its fusion of magical and cultural disciplines makes it stand apart from more Eurocentric institutions like Hogwarts or Durmstrang, offering a glimpse into how deeply regional traditions can shape magical education. Uagadou. Uagadou is the largest wizarding school in the world and the primary center of magical education for the continent of Africa. It is located somewhere in the Mountains of the Moon, a legendary range believed to refer to the Rwenzori Mountains that straddle the border between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Unlike the Gothic architecture of Hogwarts or the volcanic splendor of Mahoutokoro, Uagadou is carved directly into the side of the mountain and is often shrouded in mist, giving it a floating, ethereal appearance when viewed from a distance. What sets Uagadou apart from other magical institutions is not just its size or location, but the type of magic it emphasizes. The curriculum at Uagadou places strong focus on astronomy, alchemy, and self-transfiguration. These areas are deeply rooted in African magical traditions and histories that stretch back thousands of years. Self-transfiguration in particular is considered a point of immense pride among its students, with many mastering the ability to perform complex bodily transformations by the time they graduate. This level of magical control is rarely seen at other institutions. Another hallmark of Uagadou is its approach to wands, or rather, its general lack of reliance on them. Although students are taught to use wands, Uagadou recognizes that magical power does not necessarily require one. African witches and wizards have long practiced wandless magic using gestures and intent, often channeled through natural materials like stones or carved talismans. As a result, students from Uagadou frequently demonstrate advanced levels of control over wandless spells, something that even skilled adult wizards in other countries struggle with. One example of this magical prowess was recounted by J.K. Rowling in official canon. When a 12-year-old Uagadou student attended a global symposium, she cast a complex spell using only hand gestures, stunning the international audience. This moment reflected not only her individual talent, but the superior quality of magical training at Uagadou, particularly in non-verbal and non-wand-based disciplines. The language of instruction at Uagadou is unknown, but given Africa's linguistic diversity, it is presumed that a magical lingua franca, possibly based on ancient African languages, has been developed to unify instruction across regional boundaries. The school accepts students from across the continent, and due to the vast cultural differences, Uagadou places strong emphasis on communal learning and mutual respect among magical traditions. Unlike the competitive house systems of Hogwarts, Uagadou fosters collaboration, knowledge sharing, and collective responsibility. Admission to Uagadou is unique. Prospective students are not contacted by owl post, as is common in Europe. Instead, a dream messenger, a magical entity that appears in the child's sleep, delivers the invitation directly to their dreams. Upon waking, the recipient often finds a symbolic mark on their hand confirming the acceptance. This method not only transcends physical barriers like postal access, but also reflects the school's deep engagement with dream magic and spirit communication, areas where African magical theory is particularly advanced. Students at Uagadou wear simple, earth-toned robes that reflect their connection to the land and the natural world. There is little emphasis on luxury or showmanship in appearance. Instead, skill, wisdom, and community service are markers of status. The school is not known to participate in international tournaments like the Triwizard Tournament, although its alumni are heavily involved in magical diplomacy, wandless spell research, and magical creature conservation efforts across the world. Uagadou has existed for over a millennium and is believed to predate Hogwarts. Despite this, it remains largely unknown to the broader magical public due to Western-centric magical history. Only in recent expansions to the canon has it been officially acknowledged, yet within the lore it is regarded with enormous respect by those who are aware of its traditions. Another notable aspect of Uagadou is its ethical stance. The school reportedly instills a strong moral foundation in its students, focusing on the consequences of power and the value of service to one's community. Many of its graduates return to their home countries as magical advisors, healers, or magical guardians of sacred spaces, rather than simply entering government or international institutions. While Uagadou is often described with an air of mystery in wizarding literature, what is clear is its central role in preserving and advancing African magical traditions. It challenges the dominance of European institutions and offers a powerful example of how local culture, spiritual heritage, and natural magic can blend to form an enduring and respected magical institution. If you found these hidden wizarding schools fascinating, wait until you uncover the powerhouses that walk the halls of Hogwarts itself. From dark legends to cunning masterminds, our next deep dive explores the most powerful witches and wizards ever sorted into Slytherin House. Their influence shaped the wizarding world, for better or for worse.